Teo Eng Chong, CEO of Surbana Jurong. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, so let's start off with Surbana Jurong, your company. What is your role exactly in the development of New Clark City?
You may know that Surbana Jurong is a Singapore-based global company that is involved in master planning, architecture design, as well as engineering design. So we provide consultancy services in many parts of the world. For the Clark New City, we are specifically involved in the area of development management. So what do we mean by development management? It is really translating the conceptual master plan as it is today into the actual development over a number of years. So for the first instance, we are concentrating on the first 5 to 6 years up to 2022 to translate the key features of the master plan into a new city.
All right, so basically your role is, we've seen the renderings and all these drawings, and what your goal is for the reality to be exactly like how the renderings and the drawings are, right? Which is a lot easier said than done, I bet. So while the main master planners are actually AECOM and Nippon Koei, you will be advising the BCDA and JOIN, which is the Japanese counterpart, on business concerns while fine-tuning the urban and infrastructure design. So business concerns, what exactly are these business concerns that you have to be concerned about?
The master plan is typically a very conceptual layout on where the industrial areas will be, where the residential areas will be, where the government buildings will be. But to translate it into reality, you need to have very detailed guidelines on what the buildings will have to look like, what kind of setback they have to follow, what kind of roads need to be put in place. So these are very detailed guidelines and designs that must be put in place before the locators or the investors can really put the piling and build the first foundation. And that is the job for Surbana Jurong. We will be here to clarify and advise locators as well as government agencies like BCDA on what the regulation should be, what they should be watching out for, and what investors must do to minimally fit the criteria and the guidelines. And so that whatever they build must fit with the essence of the master plan. It may not be exactly as the master plan laid out because things change, circumstances change, your demographics will change, there will be new technologies. We must have certain flexibility to incorporate the best ideas later on, but the essence of the master plan must be intact.
All right, so you are joining in the drafting of this development management framework, as well as the design standard guidelines, environmental guidelines to complement all the new master plans, right? But you did mention yourself, there's two kind of players here. We do have the government and we do have the potential investors, locators, and the future residents and employees who will be working over at the New Clark City. While you can, I guess, kind of engender these investors and all these newcomers to follow the rules, how do we really make sure that we keep the government within, the limitations of this development framework that you're trying to develop?
Yes. I think first the government, especially BCDA, must fully embrace the master plan and the essence of this master plan and the vision that it has, which is to be a smart, sustainable city. And once you embrace this vision, once you identify the key elements that must be put in place, you must then adhere to it quite strictly. The minor guidelines can change, but the overall idea, the impact that it has, the effect that it will have on the community, on the residents that will move in, that must be kept in mind, and we must follow that ideal, the vision all the time. As long as we keep to the ideal, I think we will be all right.
Okay, so we have the ideals right here, a lot of it, and we see a lot of other supporting infrastructure which is necessary for a sustainable, climate resilient city, right? So some key infra projects will be, of course, necessary for this to survive, for this to be truly attractive and connected to the rest of the country. Are you on board on these, sort of accessory infrastructure projects around Clark Green City, such as the airport, the rails?
Definitely, we will have to interface with the surrounding infrastructure. The rail will be an important part because that provides access from Manila to New Clark City. The airport will be important because that will bring the international visitors to this city. So those surrounding infrastructure will be a key interface and it will be part of the development management. But within the New Clark City, there will also be a necessary infrastructure that must be built and planned. And that is also another part of our development management process.
I think what you're talking about is utilities. We need water, we need power, we need internet, high-speed, very high-speed internet. There's even been talk of self-driving cars and all of this. Will we really see this all happening in the New Clark City?
I certainly hope so, because we aim to be a smart city. And as you know, smart cities are all the rage now in all over the world. But technologies are developing so rapidly that I think it will change along the way within these few years. But we must be ready. We should be able to build a city that is accessible on a wireless basis to Internet of Things. We should be expecting driverless vehicles that travel in this place. We should be building roads that are accessible for this kind of vehicles. And we should be thinking of energy-saving devices all over the place.
Okay, agreed, agreed, and agreed. Now, a lot of these infra projects will have to be built under the PPP framework because, you know, we're a little cash-strapped, even though we are raising a record amount of money for infrastructure. But you do know for a fact that that's going to other projects as well. So for this, I think you are developing a PPP framework with the government. Please talk us through what makes this new PPP framework different from our existing PPP framework.
The PPP framework is something that a lot of countries have adopted, and I think we can see a shift in terms of financing by many international financial institutions towards the PPP model of doing things. And I think that's excellent. We know that the Philippines has been very advanced in terms of PPP. And that New Clark City will probably adopt a fair amount of the PPP framework that you already have. But even with the existing PPP framework, you need to draw up the actual documents to draw in the investors for each particular PPP projects, be it water, be it electricity. And putting that framework into actual documents that can then be released for potential investors to come in on the PPP basis.
You're talking about marketing.
Marketing and drawing the framework for them to come in so that
the steps, the bidding,
bankable and so on. Yes, the steps, the bidding, and to make sure that it's neutral and it's done properly.
Well, we were just speaking to the BCDA maybe a week or two ago, and we were congratulating them that, you know, so far they have been on time or ahead of time slightly on some of the developments inside the Clark Greens, or the New Clark City rather. I guess what I want to know is that they are on time. Can we continue on that pace of being on time with delivering and completion?
I think we are making good progress right now. Of course, there are already a few buildings that are coming on stream. There will be an industrial park that is already being built. There are sporting facilities that are already being built to cater to SEA Games in 2019. So these are things that have already started. I think going forward, we want to make sure that whatever comes in, including the government buildings, will be done at a pace that is right. Sometimes getting things done too quickly may not be the best approach. It's better to design it well, to plan it well, and to make sure that it's well connected and well linked to the other facilities before you lay the foundation for the construction.
Are we going too quick on
I think we're all right at the right pace now.
Okay, we're at the right pace now. All right, so I just want to follow up on Philinvest. They do have a mixed-use development in there.
That's right.
How does that kind of match up with the rest of the development plans?
Well, that is one of the investors that have come in on earlier.
Way
So they're
earlier.
one of the first movers. I think it's good that we have got some companies that have come in. In fact, there are two, including MTD. It's good that we have got people who have very been interested in the New Clark City and have come in on their own. And I think this will really set the momentum going, set the ball rolling, and hopefully with that we can help them to create something that is visually and practically very attractive, so that it's set as a model for future locators and investors. And I think that will be something that we aim to do with them. And we are really talking to them on many fronts, so that's good news.
So it's very good news, very good news. Same with MTD Capital Berhad, the Malaysians that are building the government center and the sports center.
That's right.
Everything's okay also with them. All right, now I just have to ask, how has it been dealing with the Philippine government so far?
So far, it has been very pleasant. We have very good working relationship with both the Philippine side as well as the Japanese joint. And I think the partnership has turned out to be much smoother and much more efficient than we anticipated right from the start.
So it's going better than expected, yeah? So hopefully it also comes out better than the plans, or at least exactly like the plans. So the government dealing so far has been good. What about private sector involvement? Have you any other projects here in the country, or are you looking to get into more Philippine projects?
Yes, definitely. We have got a subsidiary in the Philippines under the brand name of SMAC SMEC, which has been involved in infrastructure planning, in particular in the North-South Commuter Rail and other highway projects, where we do design and maintenance of some of these highways. And we certainly hope that besides infrastructure projects, such as this transportation network and so on, we are also hoping to get involved in the urbanization part of the Philippines. So buildings in the New Clark City will be an area that we are interested to participate even more, besides just being a development management.
That's right. So you can actually also do the internal developments.
That's right.
And okay. So other projects that you are maybe that are on the pipeline for Surbana Jurong that we can look forward to.
Philippines is obviously part of Southeast Asia. So within Southeast Asia, we are also looking at many other countries in Southeast Asia, as well as in places like China, where we have been doing quite a lot of industrial parks. And one of those that we have done many years ago will be the rather famous Suzhou Industrial Park, which we converted farmland into something that is very successful today. And that is a model that we can also look at for some of the developments in the Philippines.
Okay, very interesting and very exciting things. And also, we can time you, so everything ready by 2022. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Teo Eng Chong for joining us today on In the Loop.